What's up YouTube? Javi here at Javi's Boom Tech, and today we've got a new speaker in the house. It's the Nyne Rebel, the smaller brother of the Nyne Rock. So without further ado guys, let's get started. Alright guys, so here we are. We are here with the Nyne Rebel, the smaller brother to the Nyne Rock. Honestly, they are pretty much identical feature-wise. Both have the 2.1 sound system, meaning they got the mid-range drivers, the tweeters, and a powered subwoofer. So it's same speaker arrangement as you find on the Nyne Rock, but in a more compact package here. You've got your NFC, your IPX3, water resistance, basically splash proof. It's a speakerphone capabilities here. It's got a charge out. It's got the auxiliary in, auxiliary out, just like on the Nyne Rock, which means you can pretty much daisy chain these together, which is a pretty cool feature. I've actually used that with a couple of my other speakers when I had it outside with the Nyne Rock. It's got about 8 to 10 hour battery life, and it's got that nice built-in handle that you find on the Nyne Rock. And like I said, this thing is basically just a smaller version of the Nyne Rock. It is, look-wise, is almost identical, so it's not quite as long or as heavy. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and take it out of the box and get a better look at it. As always, Nyne does a pretty good job with the packaging. Nice little presentation here. Inside, we got the Nyne logo with the speaker wrapped up inside. If I remember correctly, with the Nyne Rock, it was quite a bit of work to get that speaker out of here. Same thing with the Rebel here. Nicely packaged. It's a good thing. That way, if you order it through something like Amazon or something, you know it's not going to be broken on the way to you. So, as I struggle to get this out, there goes some of the foam, but that is all right. And come on, Nyne Rebel. There we go. Push that box out of the way there. There we go. And there is the Nyne Rebel. We've got the usual accessories here, the same ones that we find with the Nyne Rock, which is that proprietary charger and an auxiliary cable. Put that off to the side. Get these foam sides off of here. There we go. Let's see what we got here. Definitely lighter than the Nyne Rock. I could definitely tell it's about 7 pounds, whereas the Nyne Rock is upwards of 10 pounds. So definitely more on par with the Nyne Bass. If you've seen that or have that, this is definitely more on par with that, weight-wise and size-wise. Look-wise, I was a big fan of the way the Nyne Rock looked, and this is no different. And it's actually a little bit more manageable, so I really like that. Definitely got that nice grippy end sides, that rubber matte finish all over. We've got those controls there on top, which I really like. I love being able to control the music right on the speaker itself. Nyne branding, and if it's like the Nyne Rock, these will probably light up when I power it on. They do. There it is. I'm just looking around. We got the Nyne logo right here. NFC pairing tag for all you Android users. That nice little handle there. I really do like it. Is a lot more manageable than the Nyne Rock. It's definitely still bigger than the JBL Extreme, but still a lot more portable and easier to manage than the Nyne Rock. Then we've got your usual ports here. We got the auxiliary in and the auxiliary out, like I was talking about earlier, that allows you to daisy chain these speakers. You got the charge out. You got a little battery level indicator there. That's kind of nice. So we've got 4 lights out of 5. And then we've got your proprietary charging port right there. Shut that, close. And then just some company information here. We got these little rubberized feet in the corner there to keep it from moving on your surface. And then the air ports there on each side for that powered subwoofer. Now the Nyne Rock was rated at about 65 watts of power. This one's rated at 40 watts, which puts it right at the JBL Extreme rated power. Let me grab the Nyne Rock real quick. That way you guys can get a visual idea of how they compare physically. So there is the Nyne Rebel, and here is the Nyne Rock. Let's see if it fits in frame there. Yep, nice. So yeah, it's definitely a lot lighter, and I mean it's about 4 or 5 inches shorter in length than the Nyne Rock back here, its big brother. So this Nyne Rebel is definitely going to be a lot more portable. If you were hesitant about the Nyne Rock just because of the size, Nyne Rebel is probably going to be a much better fit for you. Feature-wise, it's really identical, other than that you got a little bit less power with 40 watts versus the Nyne 65 watts. However, if you see my review on the Nyne Rock, that actually might be a good thing, because honestly, the Nyne Rock is just too much on the bass. It's pretty much unusable indoors. It's really just meant for the outdoors when it's got to cut through a lot of ambient noise. That's really why you would get the Nyne Rock. Whereas the Nyne Rebel, it's not quite as powerful as the Nyne Rock, so I'm hoping the bass was toned down just a bit. That way it's a little bit more usable indoors and not so overpowering that just not pleasing to listen to when you're indoors. So let's go ahead and check that out, guys. We're gonna go ahead and just take this outdoors, since these speakers are really meant for outdoors. And to give you a comparison of the sound, I'm gonna go ahead and pair it up against the Nyne Rock so we can kind of see the difference in power and overall sound quality. See if the Nyne Rebel is able to improve the quality of the sound over what you heard on the Nyne Rock, which would be a nice benefit, because like I said, the Nyne Rock is just too much on the bass side. Treble gets a little too harsh at the upper volumes to really enjoy it indoors. So hopefully that's something that's not the case with the Nyne Rebel. But let's go ahead and find out, guys. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so we are outside for the outdoor test. I'm just gonna go ahead and play a few songs and switch between the two speakers, the Nyne Rock and the Nyne Rebel. So that way you guys get a good feel for how the Rebel differs from the Rock. So I'm gonna try and keep the talking to a minimum. That way you guys can hear for yourselves, and I'll save my comments, try and save most of them for the end of the video. But anyway, guys, let's get started. So I'll start with the Nyne Rebel and try with a hip-hop song. It is a little windy, guys, so I apologize for that. Hopefully it won't disturb the recording too much. So that's Nyne Rebel. It's about 65% right there. About 5 feet away.
On my grind all day, gonna make $1 million selling that someday. You know I'm in the rhythm when I write this way. Put me in the pound when I bite this game. Bitch, I'm an animal. Eating these rappers, I swear I'm a cannibal. About to fulfill all my dreams, I'm a fiend. I've been plotting and scheming, this shit is obscene.
Switch over to the Rock real quick. So that's the Rock at about 50%. The Rebel was about 65. Back up a little. So the Rebel is about 65, or the Rock is at about 65% now. About 10 feet or so away. Let's switch back to the Nyne Rebel. About 65%. Let's just go all the way to max here. That is max on the Nyne Rebel. About 10 feet away. Goddamn high, all I do is smoke and I write these lines. Schooling good grades where I fell behind. Picking up the piece of paying back my There's the Nyne Rock. Let's go to max. I'll back up a little bit to avoid distortion.
Do I really want to be a fucking sellout? Do I really want to take that route? Hell no, I'm just paying my dues.
Max volume on the Nyne Rock. Probably about 18 feet back.
Right now, ain't nobody fucking around town right now. Ain't nobody fucking with the sound right now. Ain't nobody fucking around town my shit right now. Right now, ain't nobody fucking around.
Back to the Nyne Rebel. Max volume. About 18-20 feet back.
Right now. Right now. Right now. Yo. Right now. Right now. Right now. Yo.
Let's try another song here. Still in the Nyne Rebel. Max volume, about 18-20 feet back. Pretty nice low end. Highs are pretty nice. Definitely more vibrant than on the rock. They're not being drowned out by the bass. Switch back to the rock. Back to the Rebel. Definitely cleaner sounding on the Nyne Rebel. Not as loud, doesn't carry as far, but I definitely prefer the sound quality on the Rebel. Big difference. Probably does a lot better indoors. So let me get a little bit closer here. See if I can pick up any distortion. Still at max. Maybe a little bit of distortion, a little bit of port distortion, but still pretty good. Nowhere near the port distortion that you get on the Nyne Rock. Pretty punchy bass. Nice highs. A little bit lacking on the mids. Back up a little bit. Gonna go as far back as I can here. About 30 feet or so away. Let's go back to the Nyne Rock. The Nyne Rock, about 30 feet back. Let's try one more song. Let's get some acoustics here, some vocals. See how it sounds like. So that's the Nyne Rock, about 30 feet back. Guitars definitely sound a little bit awkward. Yeah, it sounds like there's some distortion. It just can't really handle the guitar that well. Let's go to the Nyne Rebel. Much cleaner on the Rebel. About 6-7 feet away. I'm not even gonna try the Rebel or the Rock. It'll blow me away from this distance. It's not bad on the Rebel. Rebel's actually pretty nice. Like I said before, it's just lacking on the mids. If it had a little bit better mids, it'd be a really, really good overall sound. Could probably just you get an EQ app adjusted and help improve the mids there. But definitely like it better on the Nyne Rebel. Much better able to handle that guitar. Vocals sound good. All right, guys. Let me let's just for fun, let's try the daisy chain feature here. Hook them up, see what that sounds like when they're both playing. Do that real quick. Let's see. Auxiliary. Pause that real quick. Line out. Line in.
It's alright, 'cause you're
there we go. They are daisy chain. Let's back up a little bit, lower the volume so we don't blow ourselves away here. Let's find a song here. It's an oldie but a goodie right here. This one. Back up a little bit. So that is both of them connected. Let's back up as far as possible and jack up the volume. So about 30 feet back. You can definitely hear the distortion from the rock. Just bass is a little bit distorted there. This is max volume right here with both of them daisy chain. Lots of sound, but that bass coming from the Rebel or the Rock, it just sounds pretty bad actually, all over the place. Now let's pause it for a sec. Let's enjoy the Rebel. All right, back to single mode here. Much better. And then a Nyne Rock, if the song is bass heavy, it's just gonna really distort at the upper volumes. If you're a bass head, you'll probably love the Rock, but if you like a more balanced sound, the Rebel is definitely more impressive. It's doing a much better job of handling that bass. The Rock was just all over the place. It sounded horrible. So that's max volume. Not bad at all. Definitely more impressive sounding than the Rock, just because the quality is just a lot better. It's not being overrun by the bass like on the Nyne Rock. And still plenty loud, plenty powerful for the outdoors. It's about 20 feet or so away. A little bit closer. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap that up because it is getting hot out here. Head back indoors. All right, guys, I'll see you back indoors. All right, guys, so that was the outdoor speaker test. Hopefully you were able to really tell the difference between the Nyne Rock and the Nyne Rebel. While the Nyne Rebel wasn't nearly as powerful as the Nyne Rock, it was definitely better overall with sound quality. The bass was punchier, the highs were nice and crisp. It was lacking a little bit in the mids, but overall, it's just a better sounding speaker. It didn't carry as far as the Nyne Rock, because pretty much the Nyne Rock is all bass, just really loud and just a little bit overpowering. Outdoors, it's fine, especially if you're in a loud environment or you're a bass head, you're probably gonna really like the Nyne Rock. But if you're more into a more balanced sound, even though the Nyne Rebel is not a balanced speaker, it's definitely boosting the bass, got some strong bass and boosted highs, it's still much better to listen to, at least to me, than the Nyne Rock. Actually, now that I know it's not gonna blow me away with all that bass indoors, we will definitely be taking it indoors next time on Wednesday when I compare it to the JBL Extreme. So you're not gonna wanna miss that because those two seem pretty comparable. Just from listening to the Nyne Rebel does seem like it does get a little bit louder than the Extreme, but we're definitely gonna check that out on Wednesday and see if that is the case. Overall, first impressions, guys, I'm really impressed with the Rebel. After hearing the Rock, while good outdoors, I just wasn't that impressed with it indoors, which to me, I want my speaker to do well both outdoors and indoors because I'm gonna get more utility out of the speaker that way. It's just not the case with the Rock. With the Rebel, I can definitely see myself listening to it indoors as well as outdoors. It's just really nice. If you're a big fan of the Nyne bass, the previous model, you are really gonna like the Rebel. It's pretty much the same sound signature, except it does get a little bit louder and you don't get as much port distortion as you did with the Nyne bass once you get up to those higher volumes. It's a lot cleaner sounding. So if you love the bass, you're gonna really love the Rebel. Anyway, guys, that does it for me today. If you want more information on either of these speakers, be sure to check out the description down below. And I will see you guys next week on Wednesday for the JBL Extreme versus the Nyne Rebel. All right, guys, thanks. Bye.